Bubu Andrade versus David Benavidez, man. Good fight at 168. Maybe the top contender for.
That is a good fight. That's a good fight, and that's a fight that both guys want it, and that's why you want to have it, because they're taking control. Most fighters today taking control of their career and what they want. I mean, and again, I hope this become more contagious, because they don't work for whoever thinking they work for them. It's the opposite. So as long as they get spread around, and you want to get fights like this, you want to get those fights, and I'm excited. I'm happy, not only for themselves, them two fighters, but also for boxing.
Stylistically, I mean, Bubu's a tough out. I mean, people maybe doesn't have the name recognition, right? But that's for a reason, right? Because people don't want to give him a shot.
Exactly. That's not to his fault. That's to how dangerous he is. Dangerous can scare a lot of people before they really admit it, or before they even see the outcome of the fight, which one will win and which one will lose. But let me tell you, that's like, to me, that's like 50-50 fight. That's really a fight that the will to win is going to be the winner.
Man, David Benavidez versus Bubu Andrade.
That's happening.
It is happening.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Do you lean one way or the other, like style? I mean, Bubu's maybe doesn't have the name recognition, right? But probably because he's been avoided because the style is very difficult.
I like Bubu, man. I like Bubu, but Benavidez, I think, might be a little too strong, a little too much for him. I think so. He might be a little too big, too active. He's younger. He's a strong boy. So, but the one thing I've always said about any fighter, if you stay disciplined with your game plan, like for instance, when Canelo fought Charlo, right? My analogy was actually right on point, but the problem was that Charlo never showed up to fight, And but if Andrade comes in to fight and he stays disciplined with his boxing abilities, because he can frustrate anybody, like I said. So, but I just think that Benavidez is going to be a little too much. Second half of the fight, he might even stop him.
David Benavidez versus Bubu Andrade, they've both been, kind of avoided. They've both been, kind of dangerous styles, and now they're facing each other. Stylistically, how does the fight play out round by round till it gets to the end?
First of all, I want to give props to David Benavidez. Why am I giving him props? Because he's taking on this fight. No one else wanted to take on that fight. No one was giving Bubu Andrade that chance, that opportunity, and he's doing it at a point where people are, thinking that David Benavidez is getting close to getting to that Canelo fight. Why would you take this fight? You could take another easier fight and then take the Canelo fight, but no, he's choosing Andrade because he wants to prove himself, and I like that about him. He wants to test himself. He wants to show the world that he could also beat boxers like he's had in the past. He fought a boxer that they tried to box in Plant, but now we're talking about a finesse boxer and Bubu Andrade. So giving him that for David Benavidez. But stylistically speaking, like you said, bro, it's a tough fight. It's a really tough fight for both. Not only for Andrade, not only for David Benavidez. I mean, it's a pick 'em choose fight. Why? Because Andrade, he knows he's a boxer. He's not going to use the entire round. And what happens with David Benavidez? He has trouble with that style. He's the type of fighter that he likes to lunge in. He likes to look for power shots. But then again, he goes back to the old him. And if he goes back to the old him, which is the guy that throws a lot of volume, a lot of combinations, and if he does that, I think it'll be an easier fight for him, and he'll be able to take care of business. But if he goes back to the just haymakers and try to knock him out, it's gonna be a tough fight for David Benavidez. So that's how I'm breaking it down. And for Bubu Andrade, all he has to do is just box him, jab, combinations, use the entire ring.
Being that you said, David deserves the credit, Bubu as well, right? I mean, yes, he's facing a difficult style in David. Is there a clearer next opponent for Canelo than the winner of this fight? I mean, it has to be it, right?
It has to be it. I mean, Andrade, he's been, and I'm sorry, I've been saying both, Andrade.
He says Andrade, so yeah.
So everybody's using both, but Andrade, he's the type of fighter that he's been knocking on doors for years. He went on that press conference that we all know with Canelo. knocking on that door. Benavidez, other fighters, he's been an avoided fighter, and we all know why. He's got that style that will make it difficult for anyone. So again, props to David Benavidez for taking on the fight, but also props for Andrade for wanting to fight all these fighters and now getting the opportunity. So now that you get the opportunity, guess what's going to happen? He's going to train his ass off. He's going to want to get the win, and he's going to do whatever it is possible in his hands to get the victory. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to get that win. And if he gets that win, like you said at the end, yes, he is deserving of a fight with Canelo Alvarez. And now let's see that payday. Let's give him that payday.
Looking at this fight, Benavidez Andrade, stylistically, it's kind of a tough fight, right? Andrade has been kind of avoided for a reason, right? How do you think it plays out in the ring?
That's what I was telling Nelly Setback too. I've been telling everybody it is a difficult fight. Andrade, he moves, he's a lefty, he boxes around. Think about how it was when he fought Caleb Plant. I went all the distance, and I feel Andrade could do a lot better than Caleb Plant, but I still feel the Mexican Monster could do his thing as long as he pressures them and throw his combinations, and I'm sure he could get him out there. But I'm predicting that he's going to win by decision.
Demetrius' style being so difficult, what is it stylistically that you're kind of looking forward to, cracking that egg, so to speak?
Well, one thing I want to say, I don't believe that he's a horrible fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. The people that say that he's a horrible fighter are the people that avoid him. He's been wanting to fight everybody, and people don't want to fight him because he does bring a lot of danger to a fight. I believe that he's a really good fighter. He's an Olympian. He's a very dangerous fighter, and he's a very slick fighter. We are preparing for Boo very well. We're super focused, and we're not underestimating Boo. David looks great, but in my mind, I think David can stop him maybe like in the 7th or 8th round, and he has to look impressive in order to keep going and fight the bigger guys.
Is that the goal to? Obviously a win's a win, right? But if you get a knockout over a difficult style like that, what kind of message do you think that sends to the division?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to stop their opponents, But as long as we do have a good fight and the people enjoy the fight, that's what we want to bring. You know how David fights. I guarantee you that on November 25th, you guys are going to see a good fight. So we're excited about that. He's a warrior, and he's going to make Boo Boo fight. And I think it's going to be great for the fans.
You said